One of the greatest centers in NBA history has teamed up with Dove Men Plus Care this March Madness season to illuminate the impact of caring fans with the Real Strength Manifesto. His name is David Robinson, the Admiral. And he, along with CBS Sports analyst Seth Davis, has helped inspire the message, which is meant to unify fans. You can read the manifesto and learn more about the positive ripple effect of caring fans at dovemencare.com. David joins us this morning on the show. David, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me on today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. And March Madness is here. We've got a Cinderella in Loyola, Chicago. And once upon a time, 32 years ago, you were a Cinderella as well. The 1986 Navy squad that you anchored beat Syracuse at the Carrier Dome in the second round to move on to the Sweet 16. That game, you had 35, 11, and 9 blocks. What are your memories of that day at the Dome?
Oh, man, that was just a great experience for us. I love March Madness. I mean, it's chaos. The mid-majors and the small schools get a chance to show what they can do on a big stage with all the lights and all the pressure. And for us at Navy, it was the highlight of our season.
It seems crazy to have a game played on a home floor. That would never happen now. But Syracuse hosted that second round game. So you basically had to play a true road game, and you dominated in that game. What was it like to go into a true road venue in the tournament?
Yeah, no, it was definitely challenging. We knew going in that it didn't feel that fair having to play them, but the good news is that we had played them earlier that season in the Carrier Dome Classic, their holiday tournament. So we were at least a little familiar with that venue, and I think it made us feel a little more at ease when we went in there to play them. But when it comes down to one game, anything can happen, and we certainly had a very solid team, a confident team, and that was. Man, it was magical. It was just one of those magical nights. Everything comes together. You
were the 7 seed. They were the 2 seed. It was a huge upset at the time. Jim Boeheim said we had no other choice. We had to foul David Robinson. We couldn't stop him. Do you remember just getting basically the hack-a-David done to you by Syracuse in that game?
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't a 90% free throw shooter back then, so fouling was an option. But yeah, no, they had a talented team. They had Ronnie Cycli, and they had some just Pearl Washington, a pretty talented group, and we were able to kind of keep it at a pace that made a lot of sense for us. And on the defensive side, we just made it really difficult for them, and I think. Yeah, we scored 87 points or something in that game, so it was a pretty good game for us.
Yeah, 97 points for you guys in that win over Syracuse. 97.
Wow, that's a lot of points for a college game.
No question. In the second round, you guys moved on to the Sweet 16, would play another Cinderella, Cleveland State, and knock them out by just 1 point, 71-70, en route to an Elite Eight. That's the last Elite Eight, or the last Sweet 16 that Navy has been to as a basketball program. You guys ran up against an elite Duke squad and ended up losing that game. But what was that magic carpet ride like to get all the way to the Elite Eight as a 7 seed?
Yeah, no, fantastic. I mean, I can feel a little bit what Loyola's feeling right now. That even to be in that regional final, which is, I mean, as people watch the NCAA tournament now, you see how difficult it is even to get to that point. I was in Omaha last weekend and got a chance to see the Kansas-Duke game, and those two. It was like two heavyweights really just battling each other. It was a great game, and it just reminded me how special it was being able to get to that fourth game in the NCAA tournament. So I was just really proud of our group. We just hung together and believed, and it makes it even more amazing what Loyola's doing. I mean, to kind of come out of nowhere and not have the expectation and to be able to beat some of those teams and put yourself in a position. Hey, now it's just 2 games. I mean, you could win this thing.
Yeah. David Robinson joins us, the Admiral, Hall of Famer, here on the DA Show on CBS Sports Radio. That was just one part of your career. Your NBA career, obviously, Hall of Fame worthy as well. And you played in a time of the 90s where the West was so stacked, whether it was your battles with the Phoenix Suns or the other squad, the Seattle Supersonics or the Houston Rockets. It seemed like every round of the playoffs in the West were just a battering ram. What matchup were you most excited about when you got to the playoffs? Was there a team or a player that you wanted to go against when you got to the Western Conference postseason?
Well, I mean, obviously the team was, Houston. I mean, we had right down the street one of my greatest rivals and, one of the greatest players in NBA history there with Hakeem Olajuwon. For me, that was the biggest battle every year. We played them 5 or 6 times during the regular season, and then you jump into the playoffs. So that was the matchup I always looked forward to. At least I knew I wasn't going to get double teamed or triple teamed in that game. It was just a matchup against the one. So yeah, early in my career, that was the one I looked forward to. And then the Lakers became a powerhouse with Shaq, and then that became the fun game to really look forward to. So it was a golden era for me. Just all the great big men that made the game so much fun. Patrick Ewing on the other side. And unfortunately, when we played them in the finals, he was hurt, but just a great competitor. All those guys made the game fun for me.
You had coaches like Larry Brown, like Jerry Tarkanian, like Brian Hill during your career. And then you had Greg Popovich, and you guys ended up winning, of course, a couple of titles. What was different about Pop when he was on the sidelines versus your previous coaches?
Wow, that's a great question. I had a lot of respect for all of those guys. I mean, you look at a guy like Larry Brown, who's a phenomenal coach, has a great understanding of basketball. We went through some really good guys. I loved John Lucas. He was a fun guy, a big motivating guy. Really made it fun to play the game. But Popovich, I think just the persistence and the focus was just a little bit different. He brings that military mentality to the table, and I think he focused in on really what was best for what was best for the players, and utilized our talent in a way that brought the best out of everyone. And you've seen now over 25 years between him and R.C. Buford, how they've managed to even adjust the team based on the talent on the floor. It's just a remarkable ability to sustain success, which I've never seen it before, and I just 25 years of sustained success is remarkable in any sport.
Truly is. You have teamed up with Dove Men Plus Care this March Madness, looking at the impact of caring fans with the Real Strength Manifesto. So what type of fans caring are you looking for at DoveMenCare.com?
Well, I mean, I'm from San Antonio, so we got the best fans ever, and everybody knows what a close relationship the San Antonio Spurs have had with their fan base here. All of our players have been involved in the community and have been very thankful towards the fans and made sure that they understood what a big part of our team that they are. And I think Dove is just trying to recognize that. And, we look around us in the world and there's just animosity everywhere, right? There's just, people not getting along, and there's a lack of respect between people. And, the NBA is dealing with that now with officials. And so I think it's great to recognize that caring is important, man, that the fans, that what they give us on the floor is really key, and recognize how important they are. We've been able to do here at the Final Four. We put a basketball court in one of our communities here with Dove Men's Care. Just a beautiful basketball court in this community. And hopefully that'll be a long-standing reminder to people how important it is to care for one another.
You can read the manifesto and learn more about the positive ripple effect of caring fans. I love causes like this at DoveMenCare.com. David Robinson, Seth Davis, helping team up with Dove Men Plus Care this March Madness. David, always a pleasure to catch up, man. Thanks so much. Enjoy the Final Four, buddy.
All right, my pleasure. Thanks for having me on today.
You got it. David Robinson, class, elegance, sophistication, something this show desperately lacks. We have him here on the show, and I love having him here on the show.